now we get to do the request over at the thingy. Thingy-ba-doo-dad. Yes. So very specific. Over at the fish. The fish! The fish need stuff and things. Speaking of the station for the fish, this is a mess. This is a mess. Can I just point out this is like a mess? Do I really want to be doing any additional stuff off of this? I could, because otherwise this things would have to go all the way up and around to here. I could connect here, or I could use what I already have that exists. Screw it. I think I'm just going to use what already exists. We're not going to have much here anyway. It's lamps in, fish and urea out. And that's it. That's all. Lamps in, fish and urea out. For this build, anyway. We shall see later elsewhere if I want to do anything else. But for now, let's just get a simple requester station down. Yeah. And then get the providers. Where's my provider? Provider? There. Providers. Yeah, 2 of those. Is that the right spacing? I don't think so. Oh, that is exact spacing. Alright, cool. How do I want to do this? Like that, apparently. It works. That's about all I can say, is that it works. And then how to get rid of stuff. Down. This is an escape hatch. So down is the escape. Slash the depot. Yeah, depot. Depot sounds good. This is the fish lamp request 1. You of course will request the lamps. But you'll need power for that. Absolutely. And I'll need to finish the actual station here. I haven't actually hooked up all the power yet. Oops. You. who's going to be urea and who's going to be fish. You can be fish supply, and you can be urea supply. I will note that I can scale this a bit further up along this diagonal. It'll have to be a little bit off-center on the actual stations, but I'll manage. I think I can manage. Or just do another split like here, going up, and that should allow me to keep things in alignment. Okay. Depot. Why is it always not the direction I want it to be? Why is it always not the direction I want it to be? Ay, ay, ay. Alright. I guess I can do it somewhere down there. Let's combine the tracks. Get the signals in. And get that, excuse me, get that placed. That will work. Do I really need more than one on either of these? Probably not, but we'll have an extra one just in case. Fish Depot 1. Urea Depot 2. Why is that Depot 2? It is because I have a Depot Urea Depot 1 already here. Out here. From the main bus production of urea. So this needs to be the Depot 2. And then I will just add from Urea Depot 1, I can append Urea Depot 2 onto that. So now we have Depot 1 and Depot 2 that it will pull from on the requests. Huzzah! Stuff things. I think that stretch I just did actually pulled a muscle. Ow. 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 You know, the on the side, right in here. Yeah, that side. Ow. Ow. And you do not need to exist at all. For now. I'm realizing that I no longer have enough cargo wagons. Oops. Hey, did I happen to put... Yes, I did. Good. Just enough. On the cargo wagons. Their fuel, though, is not an issue because I've sort of got a lot of coke. Sort of got a bit of coke hanging out for use nearby, within walking distance. So that's nice. That one's the urea, and that one's the fish. Okay. Oh boy. The urea. We're almost done with this. Can you believe it? We're almost finished. With the exception, I likely do not have enough belt. In fact, I am very certain, mostly certain that I do not have enough belt. Make use of as much underground distance as you can, because you need the belt. Oh boy. There's that. As I said, make as best use as possible of that underground distance. Because I just will not barely have enough. Oh, please. Please. Yes! We barely had enough belt. But I think... Is that it? That's it. We're done. We can turn the lights on now. The lights can be turned on. 2 minutes from our regularly scheduled break. Regularly scheduled. Where even is power? We'll do this to here. Seriously, you're making me do an extra thingy. And then one last important note. Come on, reach. We need to actually put the lamp request in. The trains are on their way. And this is moving. Oh, right. Do I actually have enough water? Probably not. Add some extra water. Just in case. Yeah. Yeah, definitely not. Right. You need power. Auto-saving. Just add lamps. And the lamps will flow. Should flow. Just as soon as that train arrives. Which... No path. Right. Boy. Dismiss. It's break time. It looks like I did the wrong direction here. Go that way. Yeah, no path, no path, no path. I get it. I get it. Stop yelling at me, because I forgot to do this rather important thing. have thingies. There we go. All right, it is time to take a break. I will set up the trains when I get back, and yeah, we have the fish are going to flow. The fish shall flow. It's beautiful. It's glorious. We did the thing. I will be back shortly. And I have returned. Welcome back. Okay, so all I have left here to do I'm just following the wow, okay, so that is a very short trip, and it immediately fills. Okay. Eventually these buffers are going to no longer exist. Hey, how about only keeping 1K? Sounds like a plan. Now the light has turned off, so it shouldn't keep sending them out here. Hey, that's nice. Hey, how about let's have our fish supply. Uh Fish supply to fish depot. Full cargo, empty cargo. You're going to only keep like 1 on you at a time. They only stack to 25 anyway, but at the rate that I'll be producing fish, it's not that much ultimately. So go. Hey, we have fish. Fish! The fish shall flow! The fish shall flow! And then this one actually can wait the whole time. This will be the fish urea depot. This is not urea supply 1, I'm sorry to say, but this is urea supply 2. The other one's called urea temp, but whatever. Urea supply 2, yeah, station temp. Full cargo to urea depot 2. Circuit condition, do your thing. And not empty. Circuit. There we go. Now we are correct. Now we are perfect. Perfection. Actually, that filled rather quickly. Okay. Be full cargo then. Sure. So in case you didn't know, fish do have the random sprites. Fish absolutely have the random sprites. We have a few fish. The fish are flowing. Ever so slightly, but we have 60 fish farms. So, you know, just casually 4 fish per second being produced out of this. At the low cost of things. At the low cost of water. And power. And lamps. At the low cost of lamps. And salt. But, Salt. Salt for salt water. And lamps. We get fish. Glorious, magnificent, beautiful fish. Moving on. Now that we have the fish and an oddly consistent supply of urea again. Hey, more beautiful, glorious urea. This is not 3.33. This is less than that, sadly. And I will void the excess wastewater out of this. And it will fill this bucket of a warehouse. Do I even need that warehouse? Probably not. Not when I have those loaders. So, yeah, I'm actually gonna do that. Like so. Come back here. And yeah, this is behaving exactly as I want it to. Maybe not. Uh, 19.5 plus 4.5 plus 3 plus 4.5 is 31.5. That would do it, I think. Theoretically. So once backup clears, once backup clears, it should be fine. It shall flow freely. So, next on the agenda, our next item. Alright, this is taking a little too long. Be free to sit forever, as I won't use you for anything, most likely. Ever. We shall see. If I ever actually do a fish request. Speaking of a fish request. Fish. Beautiful, glorious fish. From the fish depot. Yeah, from the fish depot. It needs to be added to my list of stuff. I have all of the fish. I have all of the fish. Our next goals will be nickel into molten nichrome. That is the plan. Quote unquote. As it were. That is the plan. So, nickel. Current nickel exists here. In this patch going into this station. This station is not designed for input requests, although it could be extended upwards to add that. So it can get added, appended, for any outside input. In this case, that would be molten chromium. Most likely. Do I want to stay here with this nickel? Probably. I mean, I have nickel up there, over there, over there, over here. I've even got a nickel node down here. That would be 15 per second or whatever, what the mining speed is on the machine. The actual, or on the rock. The rock is 100%, seems. So it would be the actual yellow belt out here by default. Just a yellow belt of ore. Based off of what I see here. But I want a little bit more than that. I want just a bit more than a yellow belt of ore. This is a yellow belt of ore. And I have excess because Cermet exists. And I need stuff for the Cermet, the ore separated for the tournament. So I wanted to do like 5 red belts. Can I even fit 5 red belts of nickel here? And then I also have to think that's also syngas to mine it. So I would also need a build for the syngas. So this is going to take a while. By the way, this might take a while. Especially without access to the actual Mark II buildings quite yet, because guess what's limiting our production of Circuit 2s right now? Hey, it's nichrome. It's always nichrome. It shall always be nichrome. Why are retroviruses not? Why are lab instruments not? Oh. I can fix that. I don't actually need the Duralumin off of the bus anymore. I can reverse this belt. Another one of those things that I will have to remember to do off screen. In fact, you know, I'm probably just gonna make myself a note. Yeah, let's make myself a note at in like plates saying reverse me. That'll be my reminder to myself, like, hey, reverse this belt. This belt needs to be reversed with a requester for Duralumin. Okay, stuffs. Moving on to this build. This glorious, beautiful build for nickel. It's a few jaw crushers. It's just a few jaw crushers and screeners. Only 5 secondary crushers, which is interesting. 45 impacts, 15 ball mills, 30 boffs. I also need to calculate the not that, excuse me. Need to calculate the number of, oh, right. Duh. Where do you need to go? It's not going to tell me because I have it set to ingredient input and it considers this an ingredient. Like, excuse me. Yes, I would like 225, but I would like for you to tell me how many of these it takes to give me 225. But it can't because I'm on ingredient input. Do I even need the matrix solver? Yes. Yes, because it feeds back nickel grade 2 into 1 and rejects into 1. And then all the 1 has to become 3 in order to go into then 4 and then into the molten. So, as you can see with the molten, that's 187.5. It would give 93.75 nickel plates out of 154. We're not exactly going to be spending all of that on nickel plates. We are going to instead be spending it on nichrome. And as you can see with the nichrome, if I throw all of it into nichrome, it is a paltry 18.75 units of nichrome if we spent all of our molten nickel on the nichrome. And I would also have to throw 150 chromium molten at it per second, which reasonable for fluids. Very reasonable for fluids. I also think about the sand castings for this too. So either way, it's sand castings, and I need builds. I need builds of stuff and things. But by comparison here, if you were trying to do 18.75 ish, 188 nickel plates at 150.4 chromium, and 1800 nitrogen. So the plate method to get a similar output to the molten method, it's literally a factor of 2 to 1. It's you double your efficiency basically by going into the molten route, and that just gets better by whatever further processing you compare it to. So if I was actually doing all the way up to high grade nickel, which I do have access to but don't want to actually do for fairly obvious reasons, it's Aerofloat 15, which is crucilic acid, which is just awful stuff in general on the Aerofloat. It would require, yeah, this stuff, phosphorus pentasulfide. So phosphate, I'm spending phosphate rocks at that point to get more nickel. When, guess what? And phenol and Nextlit and creosote. Which, guess what? I'm not lacking in space for nickel mining, because that's all that saves is space for it makes better use of ore. Well, if you have access to ore, well, then you don't have to worry about it, about going up into high grade at all. High grade is a fantastic bonus. Don't get me wrong, it's a fantastic boost to output, as is going beyond high grade. When you want to do it, when you need to do it. I made the determination with this iron that I have set up over here, my glorious unslimed iron at scale. I made the determination that I am not taking this to high grade because I can just build more elsewhere. Anyway, so this is going to require a lot of mining, a lot of madoohickeys for 150 mining drills. Yeah, lots of mining drills. So we'll start there. Let's see. I have mining productivity. Let's ignore the mining productivity, actually, and get rid of that awful belt. Oh, right. Before I begin this, let's make absolutely certain that I do not forget to do this very important thing. Blood meal. Evaporator. You evaporate for blood meal. Okay. You. Where the hell am I going to do this? Good question. These are good questions. Going down. So, blood meal. And then nylon. In mixer. Add CO2 and steam, which fortunately I have. CO2 and steam. Interesting. But yeah, I need to set this up. That was 4. Oops, that is not gonna happen. Yeah, so before I get into this nickel, I need to make sure with 100% certainty that I have what I need in terms of belt. So that's why I have to do this. I need to basically kill... Huh? I do hope that wasn't important. I have to kill the bottleneck on the advanced small parts, and that's why. It's the nylon that's the issue with the advanced small parts at the moment. I take that. I should have CO2 being brought down somewhere. Somewhere CO2 I think is being brought down. There's some CO2. I need a mixer. Mixer. Bring me a mixer, please. And just follow that CO2 down. There it is. So you go over from there. No, you're now going to go down.